Hey everybody, Santa Tim here at Rat Daddy Studios. You guys noticed my Santa beard coming out? It's coming out pretty good. So getting ready. Big night in a couple of weeks. So anyway, just a quick update. I wanted to show you guys a couple of things. A what did you buy Wednesday thing a little bit early, and another planned build for next year, which I think is going to be a fun one. And then it's got some fun upgrades on it. So let's kind of just dive in here. Show you what we're talking about. So this is the it's the Revell Bronco kit, the vintage Bronco with the vintage dune buggy. So, but I got the this upgraded kit, 3D printed kit from Hooligan Scale Models on eBay. It's really good. I really like it. So got these killer fender flares and the sideboards on there. Really cool hood. Trying not to shadow this too much. The flares are awesome. And then you got these really awesome tires and rims. And then you got a 5.0 motor to go in there as well, with headers, all the parts. So I think this is going to be a really cool build. And I've started, got all the parts cleaned up for the trailer already. That's those. And I've started cleaning the parts for the little rail. So when I was probably in my early 20s, I had a neighbor that had one of these rails. Didn't have the fancy body on it like this. It just, the body was more or less sheet metal, but it was a rail. And we used to raise hell in that thing. Of course, there was a lot of unincorporated areas where I lived at the time. A lot of wooded areas, undeveloped. Of course, now it's all luxury apartments, you know. But back in those days, there was miles of trails. There were, like, they used to call them marl pits. These big, they dug marl, which is used in construction and stuff, and for fill. So you'd end up with these huge, like, ponds, deep ponds where they had dug this stuff, and they would fill up with water. And people always hung out around these places, and there were trails everywhere for motorcycles and Jeeps. I used to take my Jeep back there, but we'd take that rail out there, and there was a lot of big open sandy areas. We have lots of sand. And we'd take that rail out there and just raise hell. And he would run like really, really low air pressure in the front tires. It would pull the front end right off the ground. It was great. And Volkswagen powered. And of course, he'd had it all souped up and had a bus transaxle and all that stuff in the back of it. So a lot of fun. A lot of fun to drive. And they're really, really fast. And you don't see too many more. There's a few running around here. There's a couple of really nice ones that I see at car shows and stuff. But they're show cars. They're not anything anybody's taking out and blasting through the mud and stuff with, like we did back. We would come home and we would just be solid mud. I mean, because there's nothing to protect you. You know, I can't even remember if his had any plexi for a windshield. I think it was just open air, and it wasn't street legal. Had these huge paddle tires on the back of it, but it was really cool. Throw these big rooster tails and stuff and go through deep water. But a lot of fun back in the days. That's God, where have we been? 40 years ago at least on that, probably. So good memories of it anyway. But I think this kit's going to be a fun one. The suspension is awesome in this thing. The chassis that you get, it's an entire chassis with all the suspension, the axles, everything is just one piece. So it makes it easy. Really, really well done. But really going to jack that sucker up in the air. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this roll bar thing yet, or if I'm going to keep the factory top and cab, you know, and windshield. Well, the windshield you would still have, but not sure on that yet. I'll have to make up my mind on that one. But nice little motor. I already did a little bit of sub-assembly work on that, but I'm going to paint some of the other parts differently. But you've got that cool little 5.0 cover there. So yeah, it's going to be a fun build. Other than that, I got something off of eBay, which is, I really like this. This is made by Z Toys. You can see Gardena, California, 1971. The chopped hog, which is all plastic chopper. But this is cool, really old school, kind of the wrought iron looking sissy bars, kind of twin sissy bars there. And then of course you got the cool fishtail twin exhausts on there. I have no idea what kind of bike that might be the motor anyway. Could be a Triumph or anything, but and then you got that old kind of girder style front end on there. It's got a Springer and of course the kind of wacky headlight, but I think it's cool. It was a fun toy. They made several different versions of these, and I really like this chrome kind of plating, the green chrome. I've got another one coming. It's a Honda racing bike that's in blue chrome, so I'll show that one whenever that arrives. But and they're relatively inexpensive. I mean, and they're, you know, kind of cool. They come with this display cover's pretty toasted, but I think I'm going to try to get some polish, some of that plastic polish after this, and see if I can give this a good polish. And who knows, it might clean up really well. It's got a little bit of damage in the corner, but yeah, for 50, what is that, 54 years old? Yeah, so not too bad for what it is. So yeah, it's kind of cool. So anyway, so yeah, so that's what I got for you. So that's a let me clamp that back on the table. That's a planned build for 2026, and I've been kind of kicking that one around, and I just decided to bring it down here and just get all the parts cleaned anyway, get them off the trees, get everything sorted. Of course, I've got tons of parts, the stock parts that I've got to get out of there that I don't need because of the chassis being completely done and all the springs and everything. That's eliminated a ton of work, but I think it's going to give it a really cool look. The trailer and the rail are really, really basic. I mean, there's not much of those kits at all, so I'd like to kind of get a little more detail into that rail. Thinking on paint jobs, I want to do something a little over the top, hopefully, if I can pull it off. So lots of color. So that's the plan. But that, again, that's a 2026 build. I'll probably try to get everything in primer for that, and probably even before I start working on that 8th scale build for the Cosmic Creep next year. But I'm just hoping to try to get that Lindbergh show car finished this year. Kind of running out of time, and I don't have a lot of time right now. I've been very busy here at my office, and just, you know, can't get much time at home either. We've had our hands full with this puppy, as I showed you guys before, Teddy. My daughter is back in the hospital again. Second time in a week. They admitted her last night. Again, having, you know, she's in congestive heart failure and a lot of fluid buildup. So they're trying to drain the fluids off her. She's having a lot of problems with her eyes. Not sure what's going on there. We've got to try to find that her eyes are just solid blood, and we're not sure what's causing that. So they're addressing all these things today. They're giving her some breathing help too, because she's having some congestion in her lungs. So they gave her some breathing treatments last night. So we were there. Got the phone call about 1 in the morning, and I was there for a while and then left, and then came back because I had to work today, so I had to get some rest. Which I didn't rest very well, and I had to go back and pick my wife up about 3:30 this morning. So it's kind of dragging ass this morning. But I had to get up at 6:30 and get the show on the road. So here I am. Honestly, I don't sleep well most nights anymore. Anyway, I'm up at least 2 hours in the middle of the night. You know, I wake up and just my mind starts wandering and I can't go back to sleep. So I don't feel too much different than I do any other day, but that's just, I don't know, maybe that's just part of old age. I have a brand new mattress that I ordered. I got it 2 weeks ago. It's in one of those like sealed, super tight plastic bags. I got it. I managed to get it upstairs by myself. It's a king size mattress, and because it's rolled up. But now it's been raining and it's been shitty, and I need to get the old king size mattress off the bed. I got to figure out how I'm going to kind of compress that to get it down the staircase. Deb's not able to help me do that, but I may get my granddaughter's boyfriend to help me. See if not, I may have to take it out the back door onto my balcony and take it down off the balcony and onto the pool deck. So get rid of that. So I'm hoping that's going to help improve the quality of my sleeping. The company actually gave me some free pillows and sheets and everything to go with it, and the pillows are super, super comfortable, but they're foam, so they're a little hot. I get hot with it, you know, sleeping on anything foam like that, but it's a foam mattress too, but of course it'll all be covered. But so I don't know, we'll see if that helps my sleeping. And my wife has problems with the current mattress too because of her back and neck problems. So she spends a lot of the time on one of those purple mattresses that we have downstairs when her neck is really, really hurting her. So hopefully this will be something good for both of us. It's from a company called Nectar, which my daughter has their mattresses and she finds them very comfortable, and she has severe back and neck problems. So we'll see. Anyway, that's enough about the mattress. You guys want to hear that? You want to hear about models? So anyway, okay, that's it for now. May not be much going on here the next week or so, but I'll keep you posted. I'm trying to piddle around and do a little bit. I'm going to try to get a little more work done on that Lindbergh show car tonight when I get home. I'm going to run the brake lines and stuff on the chassis. I've decided to put working headlights and taillights in it, maybe dash lights. I got to kind of work around, see how much room, but I've already drilled out the headlight bezels where I can get the LEDs in there. That's all set up. So now it's just a matter of sitting down and figuring out my wiring harness and getting that run back. And I think what I can do, I'm going to try, rather than have it where it plugs into a wall wart, which I've been doing with most of my models, especially the bigger stuff, I think I'm going to try to run it off of a 9-volt battery because I've got a ton of room under that interior pan in the back where the rear end is. That's a huge open area. If I can keep the cockpit where it's removable, the seat area in the cockpit, if I can keep that removable, which I'm not sure I can or not yet because of the dashboard situation, but if I can, I'll do that and I'll run it off a 9-volt. If it looks like I'm going to have to cement all that in, then I'll go ahead and drill out the bottom and I'll put in a female adapter, where I can plug a wall wart in there, and I'll have an on-off switch, somewhere under the back of it too, probably. So that may end up where this is going, but we'll see. So, but I think it's going to look cool lit up. I have some really neat kind of purple blue LEDs. They almost look like those modern day headlights that are in a lot of the SUVs now, that kind of purpley look. So I'm definitely doing that for the headlights and red taillights, and I may do either purple or the blue behind the dashboard gauges. So what I'm going to do is, what I'm going to try to do is take the kit decals, if they don't disintegrate, put those on clear Mylar, and then you would glue that to the back surface of the dashboard, so that would give you enough transparency that when I light them up, it would light up those factory gauges. May or may not work, but I'm going to try it. That's what I'm going to try first. If not, I've got a lot of gauges, but they're solid, that I get off of eBay. I've got all the different scales of that, in which I can, they're photo reduced. But I'd like to do the transparent ones if I can. So that's what we're going to give it a shot with that first. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, I'll let you guys go. I will see you hopefully maybe this weekend, but have a good rest of the week. And keep your thoughts and prayers out there for Paul over at Left Coast Model Car Builds, for his dad, for Pops, having some procedure done today, some surgery done today. So let's all keep him in our prayers, and continuing to think about my good friend Mike Spann over at the intake. Mike's been having a lot of issues, and I'm worried about him. He's such a good guy, and just so nice and easygoing. So, and I know it's for all of you that are having whatever issues with family or with your own health or whatever. I hope things are better for you, not just during the holidays, but in general. So hang in there. That's all we can do. Hang in there and do the best we can, and one day at a time, and just keep moving forward. And I'll see you again soon. All right. Thanks, guys. See you soon.